You know what it is, everybody. When the games are live, so are we. Welcome back to Live Lines here on the Nuke the House channel. Yes, you heard that right. Nuke the House. Dane Martinez, the spitting statistician, and my man, Twatty, Mr. New to Your Town, Matt Dickson. Matt, let's get right into it because we've lost people money by not hopping in. There are two games right now that are tied at 3 in the bottom of the 7th. What's up, Brian Smith? What's up, everybody out there as you're coming in? But we're getting right to it, making the people some cash. 3-3, Twins and Guardians. I know you love that Guardians pen in an AL Central matchup. We've also got 3-3 in the 7th. Dodgers and Marlins. Interestingly enough, both of those games are in the bullpens already. We got Cleveland hitting in the bottom of the 7th at home, and the Marlins in the bottom of the 7th at home as well. Any thoughts on this one as we kick off Live Lines on a Tuesday night?
I know we always waste a couple, 2-3 minutes talking about bullshit, but I have to. Okay. Because I talk about pitcher batter props every week.
You do.
Every week. The number one player on the board today was Pete Alonso. I put it in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, I'm not sure what you're doing. Hits, RBIs, runs, total bases, home runs. He just cashed them all. I think it was, I haven't looked, it's probably 8 units I just won on that. He was the best play on the board for the pitcher batter. So now that we got that out of the way,
yes. I appreciate that. Congrats to you, Matt, on that. And anybody in the Nuke the House Discord that's also tailing Matt. It is a place to be. We got about 500 people there. And if you haven't noticed, my man, the Keg, is broadening the opportunities for you guys to nuke the house and make some cash. But what do we think? We got 3-3 in the 7th in a couple of places.
Yeah, so, I mean, the first place I want to look, because it's always, a fight in a phone booth, and Cleveland always wins that fight, right. Would be in Cleveland. Now, I do see that they have a guy on first base, but only one out. Do we have any value on Cleveland right now?
Cleveland's minus 136. I've got the man on first and 1 out, and Straw, who's up, is facing a 1-2 count right now. So they don't necessarily think that run is going to come in, but the Guardians, and now there's 2 outs. Now there's 2 outs. Right,
that's okay.
So that actually would help the number for the Guardians. I'll give you an update when that one moves. The other one is with the Dodgers. I'm trying to get an updated number on that one for you as well. That one is pretty much minus 110. Minus 113 on both sides as we are in the bottom of the 7th as well. Arise is up, so he's good for a hit, but we'll see what happens in that one.
I would love minus 120 with a guy on base at home with the last at bat. I mean, it should be right around there.
It is. Now that you got the second out, we are staring at minus 112 on both sides in Cleveland. Minnesota and Cleveland, minus 112 on both sides. It is a flat-footed coin toss right now. Does it matter to you that there's 3 outs in the inning and we're going to the 8th?
Well, yeah, because I thought there was 2, but
that just happened. The 3rd out just happened. Okay, so now we're going to the top of the 8th. That's probably what made it kind of a coin toss, because now each team technically has 6 outs left.
Yeah. So it's the minus 112.
Minus 112 on both sides. Don't you love that little tack that they're doing right now? Where are the days of minus 110 on both sides? I don't understand it. It's like it's the extra rake that's going on right there.
Just think if a sports book does that with 1 cent on every game, what that equates to in 365 days in profit. Just 1 cent.
I agree. To be quite honest, how about this? We should start our own book, Maddie, with Keg and everybody in here. Brian Smith, Twig, JW, Tom Zaffino. We're trying to have a night. Absolutely. What's up to all you guys that come on in every Tuesday for Live Lines? And I think what we should just do is offer minus 111 on both sides instead of minus 113, minus 108 on both sides. I've also thought, I have another idea to bounce off you, an entrepreneurial spirit idea that we can get into when there's a lull in the action.
Definitely.
At some point. But there is no lull right now. We are going to the top of the 8th in Cleveland. So they got out of it. And right now, interestingly enough, Cleveland is still minus 118, probably because they are the home team. We also have 1 out, nobody on in Miami. And the Dodgers are minus Miami's minus 132 right now, with them hitting in the bottom of the seventh, because as of this very moment, they have 2 more outs to play with than the Dodgers do.
What can we get the Mets at, like, we can't get them at 10.5, obviously.
No, it's 8.5. And that's the other thing. And for y'all who watch
team total, sorry.
Oh, team total, excuse me. The game line there is 9.5. Can you get them at 10.5? Probably. We're only in the 6th inning, right? Let's find out. Mets team total, 10.5, but the over is minus 132.
Yeah. See, I think we get to 11, but I don't like that 132.
I don't like the juice on that one either. You know, and you toyed with me, because that was the other way I was going to think about it. If you're on live lines watching us all the time, these 3-3 games we have in Miami and Cleveland are one way to play it. The other way that we can play it, and Matt, you know, money is money, so I don't give a damn how it looks, right? I mean, we got a 7-0 game in Pittsburgh. We're probably going to get a 7.5 run line. Yep. Right? We've got a 9-1 game in our nation's capital. They're posting an 8.5 run line. The Cardinals are all over the Braves, ironically. When would I say this? You can get the Atlanta Braves plus 5.5 at plus money. Plus 5.5, plus 116, with the potential of the rough underbelly of the bullpen and a couple of other big-time blowouts. I mean, Houston all over the Texas Rangers early on, the White Sox all over the Royals early on. I'm intrigued by the Bravos plus 5.5 at plus money, Matt.
Yeah, the only problem is, who knows, a hit. I mean, because they got second and third right now.
It makes it 9-1, yeah. I wouldn't mind getting to the, you know, the changeover at the half inning, and seeing what Atlanta is there. And it is locked right now in Atlanta. So we'll see what happens.
We can get plus money on Cleveland right now, money line, right?
Can we get plus money on Cleveland money line? Why? Did Minnesota get the leadoff man on?
Yeah.
We can. Plus 114 to be exact. I gotta tell you though, and I know you love that Cleveland pen. Minnesota, first of all, stomped on Cleveland last night. I think it was like 20-5, something like that. And they are grabbing hold of this division with this series in Cleveland. The other thing for me, did you see how Tito Francona was like, "Yeah, this is it for me"?
Yeah.
He's done. I know that kind of narrative stuff isn't something that you or any of the folks in the chat really buy into, but I like Minnesota in this game. I know you like the Cleveland bullpen. I was on Minnesota pregame, so I can't change now. But if you like the value here on Live Lines, now something must have happened, because now the Cleveland's plus 270.
Yeah, so like I like Cleveland in these low-scoring type game. You know what I mean?
Yep. So how about this? This is interesting. Then I know you like the phone booth, and I'm with you on that.
I like the phone booth.
And Minnesota has runners on second and third, nobody out. Even if those runs come in, right? It's 5-3 Minnesota. The book right now is hanging 9.5, Maddie, as a game total.
Yeah, we got to go under that, don't we?
Don't we? It's minus. It's a huge juice, though.
Oh, okay.
172 is the juice that I'm staring at now.
You got me slightly excited there.
I know. A little half chub over there, right there by Maddie. He was like, "Ooh, 9.5. That's a tasty number."
Yeah.
I like that. Put it in the chat. Says Cleveland rock fights. Yankees.
I like that.
Says Philly. What up, Philly? Philly's been with us since the beginning here with Live Lines. He says the Yankees live number may be good, but it's minus 196 on the money line right now is what I'm seeing. So do I think the Yankees are going to win this game? Garrett Cole's still in, good bullpen versus not as good of a bullpen. I do, but I can't stomach that number right now at minus 196. But that is another game tied 1-1 in the top of the sixth, Matt.
Yeah. Still thinking about that. Just waiting for a couple cents to go our way in Cleveland.
Yeah, still second and third there.
I knew there was going to be runs in that Kansas City game, so there still may be. Fucking Milwaukee is just killing the ball tonight.
They are. So, and that game's in the 8th. Usually we don't play, right, because they are offering the 7.5. But that game's in the 8th. I don't know if we want to play with that. And they've juiced it crazily. minus 200 for that 7.5 if you want to get the Pittsburgh on the comeback. The Chicago Cubs are coming back. That game is something I want to mention real quick here as well, Maddie, because I put it to you on social media. Wind gusts of 25 miles an hour blowing out in Wrigley Field. I'll say this. I'm watching this game, and the Giants were up 3-0 on the strength of 3 solo homers, and 2 of them were Ivy scrapers, Maddie. That's how they got up. And now the Cubs are kind of coming back here. I think the Cubs were also up against an opener who was tearing them down. He was striking guys out left and right. He had one of those little sidearm, like submarine
sidewinder.
Yeah. But he's out now. Okay. So, and the Cubs still have 2 runners on, only 1 out in the bottom of the third. Brian Smith says more times than not I get burned on wind in Wrigley. I played the over and they missed by 5. I hear you, but that Cubs offense is something we have been talking about for a while. The sneaky, and I put that in air quotes because they're not sneaky anymore, to be quite honest. Another base hit by the Cubs will load the bases, 1 out here. So that's another place you could try to plant the flag on right now as the Cubs are in the middle of a rally, bases loaded, 1 out in the bottom of the third as they try to come back. So that's interesting to me as well. We got a bunch of tie games here. Where do you want to go, Matt? I mean, Minnesota has scored, but we are still tied at 3 in Miami. We're tied at 1 in the Bronx, and we've got the Cubs looking to potentially tie the game with a base knock with the bottom of their order coming up.
Okay, so what? Let's look at Kansas City first. I think we're gonna have some runs there. Although the White Sox pissing me off, but it looks like they came to play today. What do we have team totals? What do we have full game and all that?
All right, so let's get into that one. We'll try to go one by one. I told everybody what's going on out there. So if something happens before we get to the game, don't at me, okay? We're trying to go one by one, give you what's really happening. For the game, Matt, I'm looking at 14.5. 9 runs in so far in the top of the 5th. Now I'll give you the team totals with Chicago up 6-3 in this one. White Sox team total 8.5. Royals team total 5.5. We know at this point, at least, the Royals are going to hit in the bottom of the ninth.
Yeah. So it's basically like I always say, a run or half a run an inning for both teams.
Yep.
Okay.
3-2, by the way, with a bases loaded walk. That brings in looks like Belly just got brought in on the walk. It's 3-2 now, Giants.
Okay, obviously we got bases loaded there. 1 out, we're down. Cubs are down.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, they're a favorite. They're a favorite.
1 out, they're probably favored. Yeah, I'll go and check. But tell me what you're thinking on Chicago KC here first.
Yeah, there's nothing. What was the full game?
14.5. 8.5, 5.5, 14.5.
I like this Mets. You know why? Because we're going to get the underbelly on both those teams, and the underbelly is bad anyway. And the Nats are, they just make it even worse.
All right, so I can give you plus money to an over. Game total 13.5. Though, do you think 4 more runs are in here in what is 3 innings, pretty much? I can get you plus money, plus 112, over 13.5 in this one with, as you're right, the rough underbelly. For those of you who are new to live lines, that is my phrase for, when we get the innings eaters, okay? You're not bringing in your A relievers in an 8-run game. You're bringing in your worst relievers so you can save your best relievers. But then again, I don't know how much that's still in play, Matt. These are 2 teams out of the playoffs, bringing the kids up. I wonder who we're going to see. Here come the Cubs is right, Philly. Double to the gap, it looks like. The Cubs are taking the lead. I've got, I know nobody cares, right? But I have over the Cubs team total tonight. So now that we're 4-3 in the third, that one looks good to me. A base knock would get me over the team total there. We like that. Philly is in the building. He's with that as well. Team total for the Cubbies, I got it 5 on the number, I believe.
What?
We like that. What's up?
Oh, you got it 5 earlier. Okay.
Yeah, I did earlier. Now it's 4-3. There's no way it's still there right now.
No, I thought you were saying it was 5 now. I'm like, no.
No, maybe at the beginning of this inning you could have got it there, but not anymore. So 13.5 is the team total in our nation's capital, Matt. There's 10 runs on the board right now. 4 more runs to be scored in this game. Even money pretty much to the over.
What's the Yanks money line? Because Detroit got a runner on.
Yeah, but it's still big. Too big for you. You don't even want to know.
Okay.
Too big. I mean, that's how much. Let's put it this way. The Tigers are plus 210 right now with a man on in the top of the 6th.
Yeah.
Going up against Garrett Cole, and there's 2 outs, though, in the top.
I know there's some action here. Like, I'm looking at the Rangers at home. They really hit it home. I mean, I like to be on the Cubs still, but that boat may have sailed.
They got a force out at home in Wrigley Field, so that boat may not have sailed. Yeah, they're still big favorites, though, because now it's 1st and 3rd with 2 outs. Let me ask you this. Not saying we're going to do it right now, but with the Dodgers-Marlins game and some of these tie games, you know how much, we get 30, 40 cents of change every batter, right?
Yeah.
Would you ever approach one of these tie games almost looking to get like plus 190 on both sides? I mean, just bet the team in the field when the guy gets the leadoff man on, and then just bet the other team in the field when the other guy gets the other team gets the leadoff man on. I know it's getting a little too cute. You're trying to thread that needle, but that's another way to look at some of these close games. We always look at it as what pen do we like better? Who's going to win? Will there be a comeback? But there is a way, and we've seen how, dramatic these lines move, that if you're actually like looking for that opportunity, you could probably get it. Is that a way you would ever play this stuff live?
Yeah, except that on the comeback, sometimes you miss it. That's a great way that's a very good strategy.
Right.
Before I forget, what are the Guardians right now?
Sure. Right now being with bases loaded for the Twins in the top of the 8th with 2 out, plus 330 if you want to take a stand and think that they can get out of this one and come on back.
330
with bases loaded, top of the 8th.
2 outs, though.
2 outs, and it just locked on me, so it may not be the top of the 8th anymore.
I'm curious of what happened there.
Yeah, so am I. I got the 1-2 count. They're not giving it to me just yet. When it pops up, though, it'll be a tell as to what's going on. They're not offering. See, and sometimes they just shut it down because they don't want to take the money right now. You know what I mean? Because they don't know what to hang. On one hand, a base hit breaks this wide open. But if Cleveland, gets out of it, then all of a sudden, it's a very different permutation here. But I have now Minnesota has scored again. So it is 5-3 Minnesota. So Cleveland's all the way up to better than 8-1 to come on back.
So I avoided danger there. So look, man, there's been a lot of base runners in Kansas City. What's the end of the 5th? That was like 13 or something.
Last time I told you that, I think that was Mets. Nats, that was 13. The Royals one. When it pops back up, I'll let you know. We're looking at 6-3 Chi Sox going into the bottom of the 5th, 13.5 over 125 to the over. Up now 113 each way. Good old toss up, minus 113 on both sides. You like runs in this one?
Yeah, I really do. I mean, the Royals have been, not hot, but they've proven they could hit.
You need 5 more runs in this game.
Hit.
5 more runs in this game.
I mean, that's a
Royals would hit in the bottom of the 9th as it stands right now.
These fucking odds makers are good, aren't they?
Yeah, they keep on building those buildings in the desert for a reason.
Kind of what they do, huh? I like the Rangers. I mean, except we're going against Framber. which isn't good.
Get you 6.5 runs, but at minus 146.
What about the Rangers team total?
I'll tell you what. Let me interject here. At Wrigley Field, the game total is also 13.5. And there's now 7 on the board in the top of the 4th.
I mean, you need 7 more.
You've gotten 7 already in 3 innings out there. And it's a close game.
But we may lose an at bat, although who knows? It's so early.
I mean, we're seeing runs all over the place tonight, man.
Rather than that, and not saying no to that, but what are the 2 team totals?
In that one?
Yeah, because if we do both team totals in lieu of the full game, we should probably guarantee 1 win of the 2, and maybe both. Do you know what I'm saying?
7.5. Cubs 7.5. Giants 5.5.
Right. So
they just moved the Cubs down to 6.5.
But you follow what I'm saying? If we do both team totals in lieu of a full game over, we could we'll probably almost guarantee to get 1, maybe both.
They juice you out though, Matty. I mean, both of them are like minus 130. You know what I mean? I don't want to go 1-1 on minus 130.
Well, yeah, I gotcha. But we could go 2-0.
We could. Man. We got the Birds in the chat who's got a question for you as well, saying the Braves should match this Card's pen. What do you think about that? Well,
yeah. So, fucking Michaelis is still in.
He is still in. He's at like 71 pitches, I think it is. I'll tell you what it is right now. Michaelis 5 2/3 in, 74 pitches.
You know what? If he gets out of this inning, like under 80 pitches, we should bet a run scored in the 7th. There's no way he's going to get through to 7th, or the Cards get through to 7th without scoring.
I'm not mad at that. Braves right now are plus 5.5, which would not give them the lead. But you're talking about, will there be a run in the 7th inning? And bet that, in essence, Michaelis will be at the end of his rope, right?
Yeah.
Murphy is up right now. He is the 7th hitter in the order. So the Braves would also be at 8-9-1, though.
Well, I mean, if it's juiced the right way, then maybe it's worth it.
All right, let's find out. Will there be a run in the 7th inning? Let's see what I can find.
And we would need to know, obviously, the Cardinals. Maybe that's the hotter of their lineup.
Yeah. Let's see. 7th inning result.
I'm thinking it would be Arenado, Contreras, Walker.
138 that there will be a run, and it's Arenado, Contreras, Walker. It is 4-5-6. 138 enough for you? There'll be a run in the 7th?
1 plus 138?
No. Minus 138 that there will be a run in the 7th.
I just try to speak it into existence. That's too much.
Listen, I respect you, but now you spoke it into 8 cents better. Now it's 132. If
I keep talking, will it keep going down?
No, because it went back to 138. So that's not your strategy is not paying off right now. Talking it into existence.
I want 120. Yeah, I wanted like 120 or 125.
No.
All right, so we can get the Braves minus 5.5 still. They got 2 guys on.
Plus 5.5. Plus 5.5, even money.
What do you think?
I like getting up on this. I think they can do work on the Braves bullpen. I mean, on St. Louis bullpen.
Because they do have a guy on first and second still, right?
No, the inning just ended.
Is the juice any better on 5.5?
It's still pretty much it's even money pretty much. I like that. I do like that. It's the same kind of thing. You think the Braves are going to score in the 7th, or at least Mikolas will get into trouble. We've got 3 at-bats for them to win the game from here on out.
Yep, win the game is like we always said, right?
Win the game from
they just have to win. They just have to win the game the rest of the way.
From here on out. You want to do it?
What's the juice?
It's 102.
Just check real quick. What was the is it still my 138?
Oh, that 7th run? That 7th inning run?
Yeah.
I got a chance now because they are changing over at the inning. Let me try and get it for you. Oh, we just lost 13 cents, by the way, on the Braves plus 5.5.
Of course.
That's what happens when we're too slow.
I know.
The 7th inning's gone because it's about to start.
Okay. Well, we could.
I like the plus 5.5.
Yeah, but no, didn't we lose it basically?
We lost 10 cents to minus 115.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, let's do that. I'm putting it in. Right now, what we're talking about is the Braves plus 5.5. They're down by 6. The Braves plus 5.5 at minus 115. Let's get that in. We expect, in essence, the Braves to do something off of what we think will be the Cardinals' pen coming in. Mikolas has given up 7 hits in 6 innings of work. More importantly, to be known, he has thrown 80 pitches so far. The other thing we need is that the Cardinals to not, run away and hide on this one.
I would really like Mikolas to come out in the bottom of the 7th.
Right. We got our guy Brian Smith in the chat saying, what are the chances the Rangers bring in a position player? Because they're getting smacked so hard. I think that one is in Houston, right? That's Frammer out there.
Yeah.
That's a 9-0 game.
But it's early. Yeah, I mean, they'll bring the position. If they do, it'll be in the 8th inning, right?
Yeah, I mean, but we're in the 3rd inning. So let me ask you this. 15.5 is the total in that game. It's 9-0 in the 3rd. And we're talking about position players as a potential.
Yeah, I mean, and I think Texas, unless they're – I don't know. Let me see who they're started tonight. But they can hit at home, no doubt. I mean, Simeon, Seager,
yeah,
Lowe, Garcia, Garver, Grossman. So what is it?
I am talking about 15.5 as the game total.
Let me
120 to the over.
Yeah, so 6 runs. Well, we need 7 runs.
We would need 7 runs, but we're in the bottom of the 3rd. There's a ton of game left to go here.
Yeah.
And I think, like, someone in the chat said Altuve may have hit 3 homers by his damn self already today.
I saw that.
I'm going to double check that.
But here's what I want to check, though. Can we get the Rangers team total like 2.5?
Yes. By the way, Altuve has hit 3 homers in 3 innings in that game. Okay, we're going to the bottom of the 3rd right now. I mean, they're hanging 15.5 in a 9-0 game. They got to be looking at like 12.5 and then 3.5 maybe. Let's see. The Rangers, it's 3.5, and Houston is 11.5.
Really?
I'd rather the game. I know what you were talking about. How so both teams are going to win at least one. In this one, I think I like the game total better.
But they're hanging 11.5 for Houston, which is 2.5 runs, and they're hanging 3.5 for Texas,
Correct.
which is 3.5 runs.
Well, there's the extra half inning, right? Well, that actually no, yeah, because we're going to the bottom of the 3rd right now.
Yeah, you're right.
There's an extra at bat for the Rangers. That's it.
Yeah.
And again, 15.5 for the game.
I don't know, man. I'm on the fence.
Are you?
Yeah. I still there's other spots too I still like. We still like I like runs in Kansas City. I like, probably runs in Chicago with the wind blowing out. They're already at 7 there.
Yeah. So all right, let's hop on that one now. There's 7 in Wrigley. We're only in the bottom. We're going to the bottom of the 4th, I believe. We're top 5. We're going top 5. There's 7 in, and they're hanging 12.5. Juices, similar each way.
So a run an inning. That's what I mean.
That's not bad. I like that. I think we should hop on that one. Over 12.5 in Giants Cubs.
Yeah, but the Cubs
7 on the board already.
They have the lead though.
This game's gonna go back and forth, I think.
Okay. Okay. I'm cool with it as long as the juice is okay.
Minus 111.
Okay.
All right, so that's another one we're doing here. I'm gonna get that one in.
I kind of like. Why not Houston over 11.5? I know you're doing your thing. Go ahead. But
why not Houston over 11.5? There's no reason why not.
I mean, what would we got? The 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, the 8th. And we had 6 at bats.
We got to get
3 runs.
So let me put this one up. You tell me if you want to do that. Over what I say that one was. Let's see. 12.5. All right, so far, guys, we need the Braves to come on back and runs in Wrigley. The Braves to come on back and runs in Wrigley. That's where we are in live lines after about a half an hour of action. We got those 2 plays in there. Brian Smith says he took the over 12.5 in the Cubs game. Twig saying Houston can't score 3 more runs in 6 innings. He's with you.
Okay,
that's you.
That's yeah.
You're compelled. I'm fine with that. Houston can score. You're right, but 11.5 is what I told you, right? It's locked right now because
Texas is up. So we have time to think about that. Not that we want to, but
about the Houston part of it, yes.
Yeah.
Not about the game total because Texas is starting to string some together, it looks like. Texas has a man on second. The leadoff man got on.
Any chance we can still get 2.5 on them? 3.5.
3.5. You can still get 3.5 on them, and you can still get 11.5 on the Stros. The Astros, though, is minus 138. Texas is minus 108, just to be clear.
Yeah.
I'm with you. And so are people in the chat here. Twig is out there. Brian Smith also saying he's going with the Pirates plus 7.5.
Let's go ahead and take the Astros over 11.5. You said it's 130 something though. What is it? 1/3 fucking.
The Astros, it is 130 over 11.5.
Okay, well just 130 though, not 135, 38.
130, it just went to 132, but yes.
Okay.
You with it?
Yeah. I hate 132. Fuck.
I hear you, but that's what it is.
All right, so let me look at the Pirates. That's actually the game I'm watching, so I'm not going to be delayed.
Well, you'll be delayed.
Wait a second. We can get the Pirates plus 7.5? No, we can't. No. The game's over. This is the last. They're at the bottom of the 9th. That can't be right.
Let me see.
Oh, he must have already bet it.
He must have already done it. Yeah, the Pirates game is locked.
Okay, nice, Brian.
Then yes, at that point you're a winner, unless somehow the Pittsburgh Pirates score 7 to tie, right. And then in an extra inning frame, the Brewers score 8. You're looking at the only way you lose is like 15-7 in 10 innings, which I don't think is going to happen. Let's add here what we're doing. We've got the Astros team total, right? Houston team total 11.5. That was minus 130 as well. Let us know if you guys are finding better numbers than what we're saying, because I'm looking mostly at FanDuel. Brian Smith in here says before you guys went live.
Here's one thing and we all love to bet overs, and we bet a ton of overs. And I think the reason we do is we're always on the Cubs and the Braves, and those have been hitting. But I bet when we bet unders live, I don't remember losing any.
Remember we did it with the Yankees? I think last week we were going.
We lost or we won?
And we won. We won on the under.
And we won with Cleveland many times.
That's true. That's true. We won going away on that one. By the way, good thing we got away from the Cleveland one. It's now 8-3 Twinkies at the top of the ninth. So that one has gotten away. Charlie Hayes' son trying to do something there in the bottom of the ninth. Leadoff man on for the Pirates.
Fucking Nicholas did come back out, and he got 2 outs. We got a guy on, but
there's a guy on, and this is the meat of the order now. I think it's Albies that's on. We got Riley and Olsen coming out. Nicholas is out there, like you said. He's gone now, but he's at 88 pitches. 88 pitches, and this is the heart coming up right now with Riley. So we'll see. We'll see on that one. When we came on air, Dodgers Marlins was 3-3. The Marlins have come all the way, and they are now up 6-3. 2 outs left in that game as they're trying to hold a 3-run lead.
What about
we haven't gotten in anything in Kansas City. You've been talking about money runs.
I know.
6-4 Chi Sox. 6-4 Chi Sox. And they're threatening with runners on the corners, but 2 outs. Royals are down by 2. We'll have 4 more at bats and have 6, 7, 8 coming up in the bottom of the 6th.
And that's going to be like 13
for the game.
Yeah.
For the game,
Irish just hit a 3-run homer.
No, it's 14.5 for the game. In case.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
14 game in KC. We're going to the bottom half of the 5th in Wrigley. That game's still 4-3.
Talk about that, yeah. What are the team totals in Wrigley?
Team totals in Wrigley as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Cubbies are 6.5. Giants are 4.5. The Giants one is crazy.
That's what, big juice?
Probably 155.
I like that.
Yeah, I do too. But and are we already on the game total though?
I don't know. I'll have to look at the ball. Yeah,
we're already on the game total, so I don't want to go too crazy there. So as you can see, and if it's your first time here on Live Lines, we're looking for the Braves to come on back. We're looking for runs in Wrigley, and we're looking for the Astros to stay hot here. Maybe they will see a position player at some point. Those are the official plays. But if you have been with us, you know, we are consistently giving you angles to think about. And if you see something, say something in the chat as we're all here trying to nuke the house. Brian Smith saying he channeled his inner twatty, but he found the number and he pulled the trigger. That's what happens. Sometimes we get paralysis by analysis.
Yeah.
And, you know, we can't actually pull the trigger. So I like what you're doing there, Brian. You know, when you see something you like, you know, don't hesitate, hammer it.
Yeah, I mean, my issue is I don't want to give a bad number.
Right.
Like I'll find value, but if it's minus 140, then I'm just not going to give it. Yeah, I mean, that's the issue. Yeah, I do get greedy.
Braves now have 2 men on. Riley got on, and so I think it's Olsen now, right?
Three-run homer here.
Mikolas at 95 pitches. So when Olsen's now facing, if it's Mikolas, this is probably his last batter.
Yeah, J-Dub, that's a nice spot. I like that 9.5. The only thing that I don't like about that is that it's fucking Dane Dunning on the mound.
Hey, watch it the way you talk about Dane. Watch the way you talk about Dane over there. Astros with the leadoff man on in the 4th as we look for them to continue scoring runs.
So this is a big at bat here by Olsen. Maybe.
Yeah. If Olsen does something here for us, we're sitting pretty.
And this is Mikolas, righty, lefty? No, it's not. They brought in King. As I said.
They brought in King. Absolutely. We need a little base knock here out of Matty Olsen to get us within the number. That's what we need.
Yeah.
For sure. We're going to the bottom of the 9th in Cleveland. That one's gotten away. The Pirates have scored 3 without getting a man out in the bottom of the 9th to make that one 7-3. Although I think everyone there with the plus 7.5, you know, You're not worried about the extra innings, so you're okay there. It's a final in South FLA. Marlins over the Dodgers. Hey, what about in Tampa? The Rays have a 2-run lead on Boston, but Boston has a man on first and 1 out. And they were staring. I was staring at a number that was around 3-1. It just locked on me, so we'll see.
I was looking to try to get on the Rays there, to be honest, but
On the Rays, if anything, I'd be intrigued by the Boston comeback.
right. I mean, because that's obviously going to be all plus money and stuff. But
Exactly. Double play for the Astros.
oh, really?
Yeah, they had 2 men on, nobody out. Now there's nobody on and 2 out, and it's still 9-0 there. So that's not what we wanted to see.
That's a killer.
It is. The big spot here right now is the Matt Olson at bat. Like you said, against King, they did pull Mikolas, and with it as a 6-run game, hopefully, maybe it's not the true rough underbelly, but we're gonna get some at bats. We're going to get some at-bats against this pen and see if we could just – remember, all they got to do is win the game from here on out, and they will have a bottom of the 9th to do it with. Dane Dunning is still on, but there's nobody out. I mean, nobody on and 2 out in that one. The Olsen at-bat here right now is definitely the hot spot for our Live Lines crew and our bets. I got an 0-1 count on Matty Olson.
Then the good thing is they should be able to flip that lineup around for the bottom of the 9th.
If it comes to that, yes.
Yeah.
And Matt Olson has flied out to left field. So we'll go to the top of the 8th in that one, and it's still 9-3. We're going to need a run out of the Braves in their last 2 at-bats. And now that they have just cleared Olson, we're talking about Ozuna, Rosario, and Murphy, and then they will probably get to the top. But they're going to need to do something here. We need to still gain something with the Braves. We're talking about the team with the best record in the National League. Cardinals are like 20 games under. So we're hoping that one can come to fruition.
What can we get the Nats at? Plus any chance plus 7.5? I know we're not getting 7.5. We get
the Nats? We might get 7.5. It's an 8-run game.
Yeah, with bases loaded, no outs.
It's locked right now.
That's our spot. We get 7.5.
Yeah, but they're not giving you that. What they are giving you is a game total of 15.5.
Get the fuck out of here.
I know, but they're not giving me a run line here on the Nats because they don't know what to do because there's nobody out. So you got to assume some of these guys come in, right?
Right. I was going to try to quick pitch them, but you can't do it.
I mean, they're ahead of you. The only way you could do this is if you're sitting at the stands of the U.S. Open.
Yeah, exactly.
That's basically JW, but I can't see how we don't hit that or our Houston team total over. Hopefully both. And the Cubs, by the way, get a double to the gap, so they've got a man in scoring position. We need those runs. Brian Smith says, I like what you guys do. Set a number you're looking for and then just grab it as soon as it shows up. And that's the thing. Sometimes, we're looking for, we think, can we get this number, right? Not like having the book dictated to us. We're trying to dictate to the book, and saying, hey, if we can get the plus 4.5, if we can get this under minus 125, if we can get the team total at 3.5, right? Because we're looking for things that we think are advantageous to us, not what they're giving to me. Thank you, Brian, saying exactly. That's it. That's the way we're approaching it. That's the way we're approaching it, at least. Ground ball to the right side, moves the runner and Wrigley over to third base, but now there is 2 outs. This can't be like one of those nights, Matt, where as soon as we bet an over, there's no more runs that get scored,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. Good to see some of the new faces in the chat as well.
Yo, for sure. People like the Birds who may be new to the chat. Otherwise, I see a lot of people in here that have been here before. Listen, if you see something, say something, okay? Yeah. I always like to say that. And as you can see in the chat, people are giving us different ideas. Brian Smith says that we've opened his eyes. He seldom bets pregame now. Instead, he's looking for better numbers. Now, Brian, if we've opened your eyes on this, Let me tell you something, okay? And you're going to be able to do this in about 2 months. The NBA, Brian, is the place to live bet. I don't know how many times I've got to say this, Brian, and anybody else who's listening. The NBA, because think about it. Inherently, the NBA is a game of runs.
Yep.
Okay? So you're going to get teams coming back from 10 points down all the time. You're going to get a team going on a 13-2 run. They call a timeout. Then after the commercial break, the other team goes on a freaking 17-5 run. Okay, so you can get big-time middles. You'll wind up with both teams plus 5.5 in the NBA. You'll wind up with both teams plus 270 on the money line in the NBA. And if the game is close with like 6 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter, you can get it possession by possession almost, and then do it again, then do it again. But I digress. Sometimes, yep, there you go, Brian Smith. You can get plus money both sides on the money line. Absolutely true.
Yep.
Out of the inning, after 5, it is still 4-3 Cubbies in Wrigley's. Josh over here saying that he bets futures. That is all that he bets. And listen, it's time to get some futures in the NFL. All right, you guys, are you going to be on Thursday night?
Yeah.
Nice. Chiefs and Lions. I don't know if you guys saw the news. Mr. Kelsey today in practice. Did you see that, Maddie?
Yeah.
Extended his knee. They say the ACL is okay, but that game's in 48 hours. And when you're talking about a guy like Travis Kelsey, discretion may be the better part of valor right there. So check out some of those gray props that are out there.
We got the underbelly in there for the Braves. That's for sure.
Ooh, Kirby Yates.
Speaking of belly, no pun intended. It's bigger than mine.
We do have Kirby Yates, and he's let the leadoff man get on already. So we'll see about that. I just told you about those Red Sox. I told you I was intrigued by the Red Sox coming back. They have gotten a run in the top of the 7th. They also right now still have runners on the corners and 2 outs. A base hit would tie that game up in Tampa. That's one that I was considering. You were saying that you wanted to maybe get on the Rays side. I was looking at the Bo Sox side. We'll see if they can tie it up right here. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. Armstrong is on for the Rays. Tyler O'Neill stole second, so now it's a runner in scoring position, nobody out for the Cards. That's not good for us.
Are the Rangers 2.5 yet?
Remember that time we had the Rangers team total, and then like Mitch Garver hit a home run with 2 outs in the 9th for us or something like that?
Yep.
Are the Rangers 2.5 yet? The game total is still 14.5. We have already Houston at 11, right? I believe
11.5, I think.
Yeah, Houston is still 11.5, and the Rangers are 2.5, Maddie.
Right, so they got 5 at bats. Right,
even if they don't score here, nobody out, 2 on. They'll have the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. They'll have 5 at bats against the underbelly.
5 at bats and an out.
Sure. And over 2.5, Matt, is minus 102.
Wow. The thing, obviously, Valdez is what's keeping me off of it.
Right. He's only allowed 2 hits so far, and Valdez through 3 2/3 is at 49 pitches. So he's good to at this point still get through like at least 6.
2.5 is a good number though for the Brewer or for the Rangers at home.
It is.
We did get an out in Atlanta without him moving up. That's good.
Over. That's good. 1 out.
Yeah, shit. We tried to get on Washington and we couldn't. They just scored a couple runs, it looks like.
Yeah, that's 10-4. We were looking to get them a little bit, but they're not offering us. Because remember, they had the bases loaded, right? They had the bases loaded, nobody out.
Yeah.
All right, so.
What about our pre-games?
Yeah, I was going to go there. The last thing I'll say before we go to that, because we do have some West Coast games starting in 20 minutes, is the Royals are threatening here. second and third, one out. They're down by 2, 6-4 in that one. You've been saying all night you think there'll be runs in that, but we haven't got down on it just yet. Hopefully someone in the chat already has, because runs.
Okay, well here, how about this? What are the Royals team total 6.5 or less? It's probably 6.5, maybe 7.5. 6.5 may be a good look right now.
The Royals team total. The Royals team total. Let me get to that. What I see here, 6.5, but minus 180.
Oh fuck!
They're gonna give you the 7.5, but they don't want to. That's what they do when they just want to deter you. You know, they just make the juice unpalatable. White Sox are at 7.5. Royals are at 6.5. So as we're debating that, and by the way, the Giants doubled to start the top of the 6th. Hendricks is at 75 pitches. He may be nearing his rope. Whereas the middle of this order here, it looks like Jock Peterson is up. So they just flipped it over. The Giants could score here. Remember, tie games push that total up to be sure. Kansas City just scored again, making it 6-5.
Right. So, but it's 7.5 now, probably.
Yep. Braves got out of the inning, though.
That was big.
That's big. Braves got out of the inning. We now have Ozuna, Rosario, and Murphy. We need the Braves to score there. And the Nationals are coming back a little something.
We need the Braves to get at least one guy on this inning so we can, get to Riley and Olsen.
So we can flip it over. Yep. And just as I say that, another double in Wrigley Field by Jock Peterson ties that game. We are 4-4 in the 6th in that one. What do we need in that one? We need 13. So 6-6 would give us the win in that one. They're still going there. But let me take a break because we've got a couple of games, first pitch on the West Coast in about 15 minutes or so. Ironically, Maddie, we are both backing AL East teams that are out west. We are both backing AL East playoff contending teams that are out west against teams that are not contending. Why don't you go first, Birds and Halos?
I don't remember. Let me pull up what I sent you earlier.
I can tell you. I can put it up here. Bang! That's what you told me.
It was Baltimore. -1, -139.
There it is on the screen, brother, man.
Thank you, sir. Obviously very juicy, but I really like the spot. So all we got to do is win the game at least.
Fair enough. Why do you like this spot?
Well, let me pull up what was going on with it. Let me
Sure. When you're doing that and getting that rationale up, I'll show everybody mine. I'm backing the Blue Jays tonight, guys. Blue Jays are in Oakland. I'm taking them first 5. I'm taking them first 5 to be up. You can bet the first 5, just the money line, and then the draw. You get your money back. But I'm taking them laying the half run, so they have to actually be up. Not as juicy, -118 over on FanDuel. I like Bassett on the hill for the Blue Jays. And more importantly, I like the Blue Jays offense recently. In their last 9 games, Blue Jays have been scoring over 7 runs a game. All right. And Toronto's just one of the better offenses against Oakland, who is not. And last week on this very show, I was back in the Seattle Mariners against Waldichuk, and he put it in my eye. So he's not going to do it again. I'm going back to the well, fading Waldichuk and the Oakland A's. Give me the Toronto Blue Jays to be up after 5 innings. I think Bassett can hold them down, and I like the Blue Jays offense, which is hot right now against the worst team in the league. So give me Toronto in the first 5. What's up with your Orioles?
Yeah, really, you don't have to dig too deep to see the advantage here. I'm not going to read off all the names of who the Angels are starting tonight. If you want to go look at it, you guys can go look at it. But, their best – let's just put it this way. Their best hitter I'm going to say is Mike Moustakas in this lineup tonight.
Yeah. I mean, maybe Brandon Drury? Randall Grichuk? I don't know, but that tells you there is no Ohtani. There is no Trout. Yes, you are right on that one.
Right. Marsh and all the boys.
Yeah.
I mean, Escobar, that's what it's crazy. You have Escobar in the 8-hole. Probably one of your better players, but they're terrible. And then you're going Rushman, you're going Mountcastle, Santander, Hayes, Gunnar Henderson, Hicks, I mean, the pitching matchup, probably Baltimore has an advantage as well, and clearly at the plate. So,
yeah, absolutely. No, I like that. Just letting people know the Red Sox did tie it up in Tampa. That game's now 5-5 in the 7th inning. We were talking about that a little bit earlier on. Boston with 1 run in the 6th, 2 runs in the 7th. They've come all the way back to tie that game up. Ironic that Nationals got to 10-5 in the bottom of the 8th, and then Nimmo leads off the top of the 9th with a homer for the Mets. And so did Marcell Ozuna for Atlanta. So the Atlanta Braves with a leadoff home run make that one 9-4. Get us in the number in that one. Now all we would need is a clean top of the 9th in Atlanta, and the Bravos would do it for us. And what we know there is we are at least going to get a little bit further down into the Braves order in the 9th if we need it. We'll at least get to the Albie spot in the order, I do believe. But Ozuna leads off the 8th inning with a bomb. Okay, a bomb, 440 feet to left center. And so that gets us within the number. Rosario now up for the Braves. He may be able to, we could tack on here a little bit of a rally. I'll take another run in Atlanta. We got the Birds in the chat being like, Ozuna, Tom Zaffino saying an Ozuna bomb. That's what we like to see. The Birds saying got to go against that Cardinals bullpen. Yeah. That's what he was saying earlier on. Yeah. As soon as Mikolas came out, we like that. Remember, one of the things we looked at right away was the pitch count for Mikolas. All right, the Birds, because this may be the first time you've been in the chat for live lines here on the Nuke the House YouTube channel. Yeah. But pitch count is definitely something we look at. Where we are in the batting order is something we also look at. So,
what I think with doing live betting, there's so much variance and shit's going on so quick. But that's one thing you can count on with every manager. Once they get to 90, they're gone. 95, they're gone. Like, they don't run them out there for 130 or 80. It's always between 90 and 100. You know what I mean? So then, while everything else is crazy, you can at least rest assured that a pitcher's coming back out or he's not coming back out, which is nice. And then you couple that with where the other opposing team is in the lineup, in the order, gives you a little bit of advantage.
Yep. And to that point, the Cubbies have pulled Kyle Hendricks at about the high 80 pitch mark as well. Because like I said, Flores opened that inning doubling, then Peterson doubled as well. So that game is tied at 4 with Peterson on second base, 1 out. The Cubs have gone to their bullpen. We still need some runs in that one. Ooh, there's a fly ball to deep center field. And the wind blows it out. It is gone. That's the wind in Wrigley. We were talking about this. I hit you up in the afternoon, Twatty, and I let you know. 2-run job by the Giants. That game is now 6-4. And the other part of it, if you're on that total, is the Cubs are now in position to hit in the bottom of the 9th, if need be, as the trailing team. So now
6-6 gets us the win.
6-6 gets us
the win. No. Wait. Do we have 13? What do we have?
12.5.
So 6-6 gets us the win.
12.5. So we're at 10 there. We need to get to 13. The Atlanta Braves have gotten us within the number as well. The other team we are looking at is the Houston Texans, who have been all types of hot early on. A 3 spot in the first, a 3 spot in the second, a 3 spot in the third. We're looking for them to get 3 more runs. Too bad Altuve couldn't hit another home run, although you're never going to – someone should have just recorded that. You're never going to hear this Yankee fan talking about Altuve going yard again. They were literally banging garbage cans at speeches during my wedding. I had one of my best men gave a speech talking about how my life has been so charmed. It's almost like I can hear people banging on garbage cans in the background. They had like a little buzzer on me, just like Jose Altuve. But I'll leave that alone for now. It's a different topic for a different day. In Kansas City, it is still 6-5.
I'm sorry, I got booted there for some reason.
Did you?
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny? The best bet on the board I thought was Houston 11.5.
And that's the one we're sweating the most.
I bet that we're a dog. I bet we're a dog in that now. It doesn't matter. You don't have to look it up, but
Yeah, of the three that we have on the scroll, I feel the least good about that one right now. You're right. But the Astros do have 4 more at-bats.
Yeah.
And we need 3 more runs.
Right.
So we've gotten behind pace.
Yeah.
For those of you who are new, Twatty always tells us, figure about a half a run in an inning there. So the fact that we need 3 more in 4 ABs means that we've got a little work to do. But the real hot spot, and by the way, Rosario walked right after the Ozuna home run. So we've got man on first, nobody out here. The only problem is the Atlanta Braves are not in manufacture a run mode because they are down by 5.
Right.
Sean Murphy will certainly be swinging from his cleats.
Well, let's take a look.
Yep. Looks like Matty froze again. Matty's connection today is not where we want it to be. We're going to have to give him a little bit of grief when he comes back on that. But to be sure, they've finally got another out in Wrigley. Crawford is now on second base with 2 outs in that one.
Sorry.
There he is. That's all right. We've given you a little bit of grief. What is it? Your what do you got going on with your internet? We got a storm in Pittsburgh tonight?
No, I'm literally feet away from the router.
the modem or router, whatever it is. That's all right.
What? Fuck. I was just gonna say the Rangers are they 2.5 team total. They just scored.
Because they did score. They have scored, and they've got men on first and third with 2 outs.
Is it 3.5 by chance?
That team total we were looking at is probably gone. I'll find it, but they're not going to give it to me in this situation.
We do have a guy on second base in Chicago, but 2 outs.
But 2 outs, yeah. I was talking about that when you were frozen. We're out of the inning in Texas. Okay, so we're through 5. 2.5 is what you can get for the Rangers, but minus 146 to the over. And I'll tell you what, we're dogs, but it's not horrible. The Houston team total is still at 11.5, but the over is now plus 120.
Well, I'll tell you what, 3. Would you say team total is 2.5 for Texas?
It is, but minus 146 to the over.
Oh, okay.
The Astros team total still at 11.5, but plus 122. And we've got, listen, I like what we've got because you wanted to fade Dane Dunning anyway, right? We now have Dane Dunning 4th time through the lineup here, Matt. Okay? Alvarez, Bregman, Tucker coming up for the Astros.
Yeah, that's nice.
This is our time. Dane Dunning has thrown 56 pitches. They're leaving him out there to kind of wear one tonight. If they were going to pull him, they would have done it already. You know what I mean? So I think they're leaving him out there just to kind of, eat it, to be quite honest, in this one. And it's the 4th time these guys have seen him. Alvarez is 1 for 3. Bregman's 1 for 3. Tucker is 1 for 1 with 2 walks. And then Abreu is up after that. He's the 6th hitter.
I don't think Dane Dunning started that game. I think someone else got lit up before Dane Dunning.
Oh, you're right. Excuse me. It was the return of Nate Eovaldi tonight for the Texas Rangers. It was the return of Eovaldi. He only went 1 1/3, gave up 4, gave up 2 Altuve home runs, and he was pulled. And Dane Dunning.
So they both were bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Brian Smith, thanks for letting us know, reminding us it is the return of Eovaldi tonight, but that didn't go well for them. So now it is Dunning. And as I've said, he's thrown 50-some-odd pitches. So I would put it at still the third time then that they're seeing Dunning.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. While we've been here bullshitting, did we get any juice in our favor in Texas? 2.5? Is it like minus 130?
No, it's 146. It's 146.
They should get that 2.5, really. They got 4 at bats.
They should, and they're going to have, like we said, well, Franmir's only at 63 pitches.
Yeah, that's true, but
through 5.
Yeah.
So he could go 7.
All right, well, we can check back. Let's see. Can we get on KC and fucking? That's the one I wanted to do both.
That's the one we don't have any action on just yet. You've been trying to. It's 6-5 Chai Sox.
What about like just a money line on KC? I mean, Casey's bullpen is terrible, but if
we fade the KC bullpen, they're one of the worst bullpens in the major leagues.
I'm just asking in case there's credit.
You know, and there's 2 out, nobody on for the Royals in the bottom of the 7th.
Right.
But you might like the number. Oh, it just locked. What happened?
Does it have a 3 in front of it?
It was a 2, I believe, but I'll double check. It's locked, so when it comes back, I'll let you know. When it comes back, I'll let you know. We go to the bottom in Wrigley. That one is still 6-4 Giants, I believe. Puppies need to get some runs for me.
Something just happened in Cincinnati. Holy shit. We haven't talked about that one bit.
We have not talked about the Mariners and the Reds at all. I've got that game tied at 6. Yeah, Martini just hit a 3-run shot for the Reds. And we're getting to the middle of that lineup right now. Nick Senzel is up. They're not giving me anything in. There's a pitching change. That's why. Pitching change in Kansas City. So that thing is stalled for right now.
That's fine.
Yeah, we're tied in Cincinnati. Mariners are the minus 122 favorite in Cincinnati, with the game tied in the bottom of the 8th.
What?
You heard me. Mariners are minus 122 favorites in Cincinnati with the game tied in the bottom of the 8th. Although there's 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th now and nobody on. In Atlanta, just to let people know, there's still that runner on first base. There's 1 out now, and we've got Atlanta plus 5.5. The spread has moved to 3.5. So we look pretty good there. And we're locked in Kansas City still. Yordan Alvarez made an out to lead off the top of the 6th. Now it's Bregman who's up. We need a couple more runs off of Dane Dunning for the Houston Astros. Full count on Bregman. It struck him out. So there'll be 2 outs. Nobody on for these Astros, who got 9 runs in the first 3 innings and haven't scored since. We're still on them, though, over 11.5.
What's the game total in that?
Which one?
Full game total in Texas.
13.5. They think it's slowing down.
Yeah, that's probably the right number. Yeah.
Royals money line is something you were interested in, correct?
Yeah.
205.
Fuck that.
Nobody on, 2 outs. Nobody on, 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th, they trail by a run. That's not tasty enough for you. To the point of people in the chat saying that it's good that we look for the number. What would be good enough for you if plus 205 is not?
Well, remember, I said I wanted it to start with a 3.
Yeah.
Well, no.
It's only a 1-run game.
No, I know, but But the Royals pen. That's why if I'm going to bet on the Royals, it has to be value. You know what I mean? I have to think I got the best of it.
I hear you. I got good news for you. And Orlando Arcia a double to left center in Atlanta, and the Braves have scored again in the bottom of the 8th. It is now 9-5. St. Louis. We're at the top of the order. So here's what we've got. We've got the Braves plus 5.5. Currently, they trail by 4, but they've got runners on second and third, and now with 1 out, they've got Acuna, Albies, Riley, Olsen, and the crew. So they've already got 2 with in my opinion, the National League most valuable player up with runners on second and third and 1 out. If they could push 1 more across the board, they could cut this lead to 3, and we're holding Braves plus 5.5. So that one looks good right now.
Yeah, I still like our 12.5 in Chicago.
I do too. And by the way, to that point, there is 2 outs, but I think it's Nico Horner's on first base, and this is the meat of the Cubbies order here with Ian Happ. If Ian Happ could put one in the air and it goes over, that's a winner. A 2-run shot here by the Cubbies, and this game total is a winner. Because remember, if we get to 6-6, that inherently means we get to 13, which would be over the 12.5 that we're talking about.
I'm looking for 12.5 in KC, maybe. But it's probably 13.
They just ended the bottom of the 7th. Oh, nice play by the center fielder in Wrigley to end the 6th. They do not score, by the way, the Cubbies. It's 6-4 going into the top of the 7th. In Kansas City, Matt, the game total is 13.5. What were you saying you wanted?
12.5.
Now it's 13.5, but over that would be plus 134. You've been talking about runs. I don't know if you think that many runs are going to come in. Because now we're going to the top of the 8th. We got 12 more outs in this game, so I don't know if I'd go there.
Right. 12.5 is what I wanted. But.
Yeah. Just so you know, so that we can check, we should feel good about this. Remember, we had over 12.5 in Wrigley. The updated game total is 13.5 there. So, that's a little bit in our favor. What we now need is actually Houston to put up another crooked number, because at this point they've only got 3 more at bats, and we need 3 runs out of them.
What about the Reds money line? It has to be because they were. I think Seattle was like minus 130 last time. And now Seattle has a guy on.
Seattle has a man on and nobody out to start the top of the 9th. The Reds you can get at plus 135, but I don't think that's enough for you.
It's not.
I know. I know you by now, bro. That's not enough for you.
What the fuck?
I'm telling you, I know that's not enough for you. And now it's down to 124 because there's a strike on the batter. So we've got tie games here. Boston and Tampa tied at 5 in the bottom of the 8th. Seattle and Cincy tied at 6 in the 9th. Mets-Nats has just gone final. Yankees-Tigers have just gone final. Acuna's still batting with a full count down in Atlanta. We already got money in that we like on that game. 6-4 Giants in Wrigley going to the top of the 7th. We got over 12.5. The live total is 13.5. So we're doing decent on that one. 6-5 White Sox in Kansas City. That game in the 8th inning. Twatty's been looking for runs all night in that one. I've kind of, backed off of that one now in the 8th inning. Then we got the Astros all over the Rangers, and then these West Coast games that are just getting started right now. Remember, Maddie's on the Orioles. I am on the Blue Jays.
So what about the Mariners to hold this lead? The Mariners money line.
Minus 130.
I'd much rather have that with a guy on and no outs.
Guy on, nobody out. Ty France, I believe, is up. So that gives you an indication of where they are in their lineup. They're at like 6, 7, 8 right now. Seattle to win this game. The Reds in the bottom of the ninth are going to have, they lead it off with Ellie De La Cruz. So 4, 5, 6.
There's an out now, though, in Seattle.
There is an out. There is an out in Seattle, which makes it minus 120 instead of minus 130.
Really?
Yeah, you get 10 cents for that out.
But if we were on the other side, it would be 40 cents.
Right. Reds are minus 105. If you want to get the Reds, who are the home team with 4, 5, and 6 coming up in the bottom of the ninth. By the way, Acuna, grounded out, but he did force the run in. So that's 3 that have come in the bottom of the 8th here for the Atlanta Braves. Right now, the Braves are down by 3, but we're holding them plus 5.5. 2 outs. Ozzy Albies is facing a 3-1 count. So Acuna had a ribby ground out there to help our cause.
We're not getting 2.5 in Texas team total yet.
We had that 2.5, but the juice was just crazy, remember? And now you got a man on, so I don't know. The 2.5, but the juice is over 150, so you're not going to like it. Astros team total has fallen to 10.5. That might be the play that we're in the most trouble on when it comes to the 3 that we've put out so far. Hey Matt, what's up with what are the bullpen stats for Tampa and Boston?
I think they're both like middle of the road.
Rays are threatening here. First and second, 1 out. Red Sox on the comeback plus 170.
Yeah, I would in that game.
You get a ground ball, then all of a sudden that drops by about 50 cents.
But I think I would rather be on the Rays to win this game.
Okay, fair enough. 5-5. And here's another thing I'll tell you. I don't know if they're going to offer it anymore, but you know, Matt, how I love the tie games and the totals, right?
Yeah.
Because this game, 5-5, it's kind of profiling to get to extra innings where we get the run on second base to start it off. The run expectancy, by the way, of runner on second and nobody out is 51%. So 5-5, if they're giving me,
it's got to be 12.5.
They give me 12.5. I would take the over, I think.
Really?
Yeah. Because 6-6, I think we can get 6-6.
Yeah.
It would be a 7-6 final, not a 6-5 final. Yeah. I would take over 12.5 if they give it to me.
Well, if you can get it now with a guy on first and second, that may be a play.
They got out of the inning. We're going to the bottom of the 8th in Tampa. And
must have been a double play or something.
Yeah, and to this point, the Red Sox, who I said was at plus 174, when the runners were on base, they got the double play. They got out of it. They're now minus 106. 80 cents because of that ground ball, Matt.
So they're a favorite? Well, no. You got to be a
minus 120. Tampa's minus 120. Boston's minus like 106, like I said. But my point is, if you're new to live betting baseball, taking a stand in that rally, in the middle of that, is where, hey, if they get out of it, I literally said 5 minutes ago, hey, if they get out of it, watch how this drops. 70 cents is the answer, or 80 cents is the answer from plus 175 to minus 105. Okay? So imagine right now, if you were holding the Red Sox at plus 170, then you got room to play with, if the Red Sox get the leadoff man on, you could probably get Tampa at plus money and lock in profit and then, keep it moving, go to the next game. So sometimes I do like doing that. We are in the top of the 9th in Atlanta. Tonkin is in for the Braves. It's Goldie, Gorman, and Arenado. So we're not out of the woods yet here on this one, but the Cardinals are up by 3. We've got 2 runs of cushion. You know what I don't like, Matt, is that we've got a 2-0 count on Goldie to start the top of the 9th. Just throw strikes, people.
Yeah. Here's what I'm interested in, because I think this closed at something crazy in the 200s. The Diamondbacks were a huge favorite today.
They were. I have them. They closed at minus 210. The total was 9 in that game against the Rockies.
So I'm interested to see if the Rockies don't score here in the first, if that jumps up to like $3.
Okay.
So I want to keep my eye on that here.
Rockies
The next
had
couple.
scored in the first, though.
Of course they did.
And they got runners on second and third with 2 out, and they did get out to a 1-0 lead.
Okay, so forget what I just said.
No problem. That's what I'm here for. Horrible shift in Wrigley Field. Yo, Peterson was up, and he's a big pull lefty. Dude hit a routine ground ball to where shortstop was supposed to be, but there was just absolutely nobody there. And so now the Giants have 2 runners on, and I believe 2 out. But listen, we can get that a lot of different ways here before we stretch in Wrigley Field and everyone takes us out to the ball game.
Yeah, a double here gets us a win.
No, it does not.
It'd be 6-6, gets us a win.
No, the Giants are up. It would be 8-4.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what I'm talking about.
So that would but listen, I'll take runs in any form at this point.
Yeah, 8-4 would be still good. Yeah.
I'll take runs in any form that we can get in this point. Pinch hitter for the Giants right now. Men on first and second, 2 out in that one.
Fuck. Gorman just homered.
Gorman just homered. Goldie struck out, but Gorman homered. We've got 1 run of cushion still left in Atlanta. 2 outs to sweat through in Atlanta. So that's definitely the hot spot there. And we're going to have Abreu, McCormick, and Dubon 6, 7, and 8 for the Houston lineup. We'll see if Dane Dunning comes out. He's thrown 74 pitchers in mop-up duty in relief of Eovaldi.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, what can we get the Rockies at right now, money line?
Plus 142. Up by 1. Scored a run in the first. We're now we're going to the bottom of the first in Arizona. Plus 146 for the team that's winning by a run. A lot of game left.
It's a big spot here in Chicago.
It is. I've got a 1-1 count on Bailey.
2 outs.
2 outs, 2 runners on. An even bigger spot in Atlanta, where we are now 1 out away from a victory. 2 on, 2 out, nobody on, 4-run lead for St. Louis. 0-1 count on Contreras, the catcher. And if he makes out, that one is a cash for us. The other big spot, as you're mentioning, is right now the rally or potential rally in Chicago. We need runs. I would prefer they come from the Cubs to tie it up at 6-6 because remember I told you I also had the Cubs team total. So I need runs in Wrigley. We're in the top of the 7th here in that one with 2 runners on.
All right, let's get 2 of 3 at home here.
Let's just get an out in Atlanta. Let's just get an out in Atlanta. That's all I want to see. One thing at a time. You know what I mean, Matt? One thing at a time. We got a 2-2 count on Contreras in Atlanta. And out there would take us to the bottom of the 9th where the Braves would be already under the number and hitting in the bottom of the 9th. That same similar situation. Oh, they got out of it in Wrigley. We go to the bottom of the 7th. We go to the bottom of the 7th in Wrigley, and it will be Bellinger, Swanson, and Suzuki. That sounds like runs to me, though. That sounds like runs to me, Matty. It's the middle of that Cubbies lineup.
Yeah, we should get them in the bottom of the 9th too.
We're going to the bottom of the 9th in Atlanta. St. Louis scored 1 run and 1 run only. So we go to the bottom of the 9th in Atlanta. The Braves are down 10-6. They're down by 4, but we've got them plus 5.5. So again, unless the crazy scenario happens where somehow the Cardinals win by 6 runs in extra innings, that one is likely a cash. So now, for me, the biggest spot here is what the Cubbies can do in Wrigley with the meat of their order coming up here in the bottom of the 7th. You make a good point that if they have any kind of rally whatsoever, we should see this heart of the lineup 2 more times in Wrigley Field. And I know everyone sometimes scoffs at it, but, the wind's blowing out, Matty.
Yeah. Yep.
So we'll see. Oh, my guy Keg in the chat Use the Discord invite in the description of this video to join Nuke the House. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter. You know, it really raises all boats here. My man Keg is really putting together a nice lineup, okay? This is a great product between the website that is now tracking a lot of people's bets, between the Discord, which is approaching, yes, Twatty included, absolutely. Between the Discord, which, correct me if I'm wrong, Maddie, is approaching 500 people strong, and it's an active group of people, okay? So that's a great community. And there is more and more video options here on the Kegcast, on the Nuke the House channel. If you're not watching all the live shows, you are missing out, says Tom Zaffino. Thank you, Tom, because Live Lines is one of those shows. We're going to be live Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, during NFL Sundays. We're already giving you like touchdown props and divisional previews for the NFL. So just because, you know, when baseball season, regular season comes to a close, we're going to have football. We're going to have the NBA coming out. We've always got UFC plays as well. I was tailing Keg earlier on some Contender Series stuff that was going on tonight. I actually got to check my balance to see how those did. And then we've got NASCAR. And let me tell you something. Take It to the Bank has been crushing NASCAR recently. We are live for 11 hours on Saturday, says Tom Zaffino. That's what you like.
I mean, if you think about it, Dane, at this point going forward, really the only day I could think of that we won't have a show would be like Wednesday. And who knows? We may even, because Tuesday is us, Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, Friday.
Maybe Friday.
Probably fighting.
Maybe there's some college. There could be some college stuff.
Yeah, and then Saturday, Sunday. So, yeah.
Absolutely. What you got to do, you know, when you put the kids to bed, when you kiss the wife goodnight, settle into the couch, take a couple of bong rips, and then watch whatever game you're watching, but have us up on your second screen, okay? Watch the game on your TV, have us up on the iPad or something like that, because we're like navigating the waters for you. Our job here is to surface the opportunities for you, right? Sometimes you get them with us. Sometimes you miss the opportunity. Sometimes we're right. Sometimes we're wrong. Sometimes you hear us talking about something that we don't have on the scroll, and you know it winds up hitting. If you've been with us for a couple of months now, you know that that's how it goes sometimes too. We're illuminating for you ways to potentially cash. Do we all wind up on the scroll? No, but absolutely. If you've been following us, you've been profitable. I have it so far, Maddie, that we've done 9 shows together, 6 of which have been winning shows.
Yeah, I haven't even paid attention.
No, I got you. It's all good.
We did score in Houston.
The Astros did score in Houston. What do you know? We got 2 doubles back to back. And so we got a runner still in scoring position. Oh, this is nice here. If we get this run in and get to 11, that would be nice. That's very nice. And we're going to get to and Maldonado, the 9-hitter, is up now. After that is Altuve, who, by the way, has 3 homers on the night. In Cincinnati, Matt, Ellie De La Cruz led off the bottom of the 9th with a single, and he has stolen second.
Shocker. You knew he was still second immediately.
So I got to tell you, I bumped him over to third, Maddie. We say this all the time in extra innings, but now you pretty much have the same exact situation. Bottom
it's over.
Man on second, nobody out.
Well, either way, it's over.
Oh, in Cincy?
Yeah.
They scored?
Yeah.
Yeah, single De La Cruz scored. So that game is a wrap.
So interesting in anything in particular. What about?
We got a base runner for the Cubbies.
Okay.
Dansby Swanson. Dansby Swanson is on first. So we got Suzuki. That's what is that, like the 6th spot in the lineup, I believe?
Yeah. What's they may be off the board. What's the total in the Rays Red Sox?
Yeah, I was telling you about that because with the threat of extra innings.
Yeah.
In the 9th, I don't know if they're going to give it to you anymore. I think they pull it. Oh, no. Ooh, Maddie. Maddie.
You can't say it's 11 and a
I
half.
can. That's exactly what it is. It's 11.5 and plus money to the over.
Yeah.
They're saying, will this be a 6-5 final or not? We're in the bottom of the ninth in Tampa. Plus 110 over 11.5. I know I may be like against conventional wisdom here, but I think when we get to extra innings, you very frequently see both teams score runs or a team score multiple runs.
Yeah, because the pitcher's ass gets real puckered in extra innings with a guy on second base.
Maddie, I got a better update for you. Maldonado went yard for the Astros. It is 12-1 Houston. That's a cash, brother, man.
Let's go.
That is a cash. That is a cash. The Astros have gotten to 12. So we got that one in the bank.
And not to brag for us, but this is exactly what Dane said about Dunning. They're just letting them wear it tonight.
Letting them wear it tonight. Yep.
Yeah, because what happens is, in a blowout, they're not going to use their pen. Like, they're just going to send one guy out there, and he's just going to get his tits lit.
And it's probably a day game after a night game tomorrow, too. You know what I mean? So they're like, we got to save these guys for tomorrow. Because remember, Texas, they're still in the divisional race. They're trying to, Suzuki goes yard for the Cubs. We're tied at 6 in Wrigley.
Is that a cash?
At Wrigley, that means we're over 12.5. That means the Cubbies team total is over 5 as well. That is a pretty good 2-minute stretch for live lines. The Houston Astros go over the number. The Chicago Cubs go over the number. Cubs Giants, unless there is a lightning strike or something, they go over the number. Unless the skies open up in Chicago, that goes over the number as well. Tom Zaffino, what a sick 10 minutes, he says.
That was great. That was great.
By the way, my man Keg, if you're out there listening, clip this part of the video. That's a Nuke the House promo. That's how we do it on Live Lines with Matty Dickson and the spitting statistician Dane Martinez. In about 5 minutes, we cash with the Astros. We cash with this over. That's how.
Dude, that was in like 20 seconds.
It was. I mean, it really was. I was like going on another screen to see what happened in Houston, and I'm watching the Cubs-Giants game, and I saw the ball flying deep into, what is it, Waverly Avenue out there in Chicago, whatever it is. Yeah, absolutely. So that's how we go. All 3 of the bets now, clip it, says Zaffino. I agree with you. Someone DM the Keg right now and tell him to start clipping that. Nuke the house. That's what it is. Lounge in there. Nuke the effing house. That's how we do it.
That was nice.
That was a nice little stretch right there. So as you can see, now the funny part.
We just shut it down for the night and go away.
I'm not mad at that.
I'm just fucking with you. We got a half hour. I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah. We'll watch the rest of these games. We got to make sure we ride the Braves on home as well. We're in the bottom of the ninth there, and 10-6. They're down by 4. They got a man on second as well and 2 outs. So we're in the unique situation where we're actually cheering for them to not score. So
and now we have time. We have time to think about this Red Sox Rays because they're probably going to go to commercial in between innings here.
Correct. And we are nobody on bottom of the ninth. I don't know if they're still giving us any opportunity, though, if you want to know the truth. All they're giving us is money line. Let it be known. I kind of like that over 11.5 because I think multiple runs or the picket fence could happen on both sides. But hey.
So what is the money line?
All they're giving you is the money line. The Rays, slight, very slight. It's like minus 120 to minus 105. And that's going to change as soon as, we actually go to the top of the 10th, I would imagine.
They're the better team, and they're at home.
Yes.
I'd like that at like 115 probably.
Tampa?
Yeah.
All right. We do get the third out, so we do go to extra innings in Tampa. All right, we do go to extra innings in Tampa. We're going to go to the top of the 10th. This game is tied at 5. Everything is locked for me right now. You're saying that number is about 115 you'd be okay with for the Rays?
I like Tampa, like 115, right? I mean, they're the better team at home.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. I don't think they're going to give me a total. I was saying I would like the 11.5 because that was also plus money. The book thinks this will be a 6-5 final. Oh, the wind in Wrigley's hysterical. Random pop-up to left field. And it drops because the wind was so swirling so much. Now we got a man on second and 1 out. Jock Peterson literally spun himself silly. I'm serious. He literally did. If you can catch this replay, anybody, please do. Routine pop-up to left field. And Peterson doesn't know what to do with it. He overruns it, tries to come back, and he can't. Maddie, the Rays are minus 104.
Don't we got to take that? I mean, in a coin flip, don't they win this game 6 out of 10? Like, if they played 10 times, don't they win this 6 out of 10? 5.5 out of 10?
I don't disagree with you.
You just like that we're 3-0, don't you?
I do. I do like that. I can't front. I do like that. Here's the one piece of information I don't know if you have or if anybody in the chat. Oh, by the way, Keg is in the chat and says that he will clip it. That's what's up. Matt Smith says he likes the Rays also. Boston has Duvall, Yoshida, and Ref Snyder, which is 5, 6, 7. The Rays will come back also with 5, 6, 7. The one thing I want to know is who's available in both pens.
We got past Devers then, obviously, which is good.
Devers is in the 2 spot tonight, yes. Now it's minus 110 for Tampa.
Yeah, the fact that they're the home team, I think we take it. I think we got to take it.
All right, let's do it. So we're just on the Rays to win the game, right?
On the Rays to win the game.
All right. To be fair, I'll do it at minus 1. Oh, now it's back down to minus 104.
Okay.
Back down to minus 104.
I've been trying to get on KC all night. They're threatening.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, a sack fly here. They tie it up. Oh, they tied it up.
How about that?
And second and third with 1 out. They're trying to walk off. Fuck.
Kansas City?
Yeah.
Bobby Witt Jr. up too, right?
He's the one that just doubled them in.
By the way, the Astros are now up 14-1. And they finally did take Dane Dunning out.
Still nothing going on our late picks.
No,
0-0 and
really.
LA.
Orioles are still zip. Blue Jays are still zip. Arizona came right back and scored a run in the bottom of the first. You were wondering about the Rockies. All right, so we're on Boston. We're on Tampa here.
Yeah, Adam Duvall's up 0 for 4 with 3 Ks. He's not seeing it tonight.
Yeah, that is true.
What's the Golden Sombrero? 0 for 4 with 4 Ks?
0 for 4. Yeah, let me add to the ticker here real quick. Tampa Bay money line at minus 104. The duel.
So we did get Duvall out. Guy still standing on second base. That's huge. That's huge.
It is because
didn't get him over with
sacrifices can't do the trick. Yep, absolutely. There is 1 out. You're right. It's Yoshida who's up.
He's been on fire. The Royals load him up 2 outs, trying to walk it off.
Cubbies take the lead 7-6.
We went over on both these pretty well.
We did. Yoshida. Uh-oh. No, it's just fly ball. Excuse me. Just a fly ball. 2 outs, does not get the runner over. And that's where the strikeout or whatever Duvall did is so important, because this was a deep fly ball to right center field. Okay. If there was nobody out, that runner could tag up, get to third, and be at third with only 1 out. Now, when there was 1 out entering that, he didn't tag out. You don't make the last out at third base. That's the old axiom. And so now the Red Sox have still the Manfred man on second base, 2 outs, and Rob Refsnyder up for Boston.
Dane, here's something while we got like a half second. I'm 100% convinced that night games have more overs than day games. I got nothing to base it on, but both of us played baseball. And for me, and I don't want to speak for you, wasn't it easier to hit at night than when it was fucking sunny out?
Yes, that is true. Yes.
I think so.
I agree with that.
I think it's a big time advantage for a hitter hitting at night provided you have good lighting in all these stadiums.
Right. And to be quite honest, I'm growing up in the Bronx, yo. We did not have good lighting a lot of times. I will say that. And my fields had crazy, we used to call it, my high school team, our home games were in Central Park in the middle of New York City, if you know.
Oh, that's pretty cool, though. Yeah.
It was, but there was literally, I had El Salvadorians playing soccer in the middle of right center field, We couldn't do anything about it. And there were literally, hops that we would get that were horrible. And we'd be like, oh, that's Central Park hop.
I'd be just.
And now it's gone. Morel has gone yard. And the Cubbies are now all over the Giants. That's a 3-run jack.
Wow.
Morel, and the Cubbies are now up 10-6. Last I checked, 16 is more than 12.5. That's why that one is a winner.
I would just like to one year just bet unders and day games and overs and night games just to see how it shook out.
Yes. So there's 2 things I'll say on that. One, to support you. One, to play devil's advocate. A lot of the day games that happen on the schedule are day games after the night game, where you get the backup catcher, where you get a getaway day, where you that kind of thing, where I believe there's a lot of conditions profiling to the under.
Yeah, exactly.
Even the umpires have flights to catch. You know what I mean? So I like that. From my own experience, though, the one thing I would say as devil's advocate is I believe the ball flies more when it's warmer.
Good point.
In general, nighttime is cooler than whatever city you're in than that same game happening during the heat of the day. That
is a good point. Yep.
More in the warmth.
Yep.
But a lot of these day games are getaway days, which profile to the under as well.
All right, let's go. Let's win it right here in the bottom of the 10th. Tampa.
Brian Smith says, and I like this, want to get your thoughts. Baltimore and the Angels, if the total gets down to 6, we're jumping in. Refsnyder is out, by the way. We're going to go to the bottom of the 10th with the Rays now, only needing 1 to win this game. So good thing maybe I didn't go with the total, because now it could be a 6-5 final and we would like it. We were talking about in the chat, Brian was saying Baltimore and the Angels, if that gets to 6, Baltimore and the Angels.
I just don't like that Angels lineup for shit. What I would probably, and I'm not disagreeing, but I would probably like maybe the Orioles team total
better.
Like it keeps dropping, like no one's scoring, and maybe getting the Orioles 2.5 or something.
So it's zipping to third here. Baltimore has flipped it over again. Adley's back up for his 2nd time at bat. There's a man on first, 1 out.
Second, no out.
To your point, Orioles 3.5. Oh, it just locked. Whatever Adley did.
Well, Mateo stole second.
Yeah. This ball's in play from Adley Rutschman, so I'll let you know what happens there. Oh, that could be the first run of the game. I'll let you know in a second.
That's good. Yep. I mean, I'm on -1.
RBI double out of Adley. 1-0 Baltimore.
Go.
So there's the one run. There's that run. You're tied now, at least, right? You're tied now. So that's fine.
So they win the rest of the game. It's a casher.
There you go. And right now, the run line is 2.5 for the Orioles. So the book thinks that's going to happen as well. Let's see if Baltimore can tack on. To your point, though, Brian, you were saying you jump in if it got to 6 with that run, and now pops back up to 7.5. Corey H in the chat. Morel going to get hit in his next at bat after that pimp job. It's true. He hit a bomb. He stared it down. He flipped the bat. He was excited as the crowd in Wrigley went crazy.
Uh-oh.
Tampa? Kansas City wins. Kansas City wins 8-6.
When bases loaded, no outs in Tampa. Is that a thing?
I do not have that, but let me check.
And Blue Jays are threatening too. First and third.
I like that. I've got runners on first and third, nobody out for Tampa. So maybe they are going to walk the bases loaded.
Let's go. What do we always
walk the bases loaded to create the force at home?
Pitch clock, hit by pitch, air.
Anything. Balk. Walk off balk.
Yes.
Corey H says it was first and third. That's what I have as well, first and third.
Let's take 4-0.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. Let's do it. I'll tell you what, though, right now, if I was facing first and third and nobody out, I would, in fact, walk the bases loaded here, Matt.
Oh, 100%. And
I try to line up getting the good old 1-2-3 double play.
They did. I think they did.
They did? It's bases loaded?
No outs, yeah.
I still don't have bases loaded, so you're in front of me. But I believe you. But I've still got that first and third. Nobody out. And, they're showing the replay of the Morel home run. He did style. He did style. He's walking backwards to first base, like staring at the dugout. He's like backpedaling.
He definitely has some swag, that's for sure.
I mean, listen. And I don't know if it got to bases loaded here, honestly, Matt, because I got an 0-2 count on the batter with runners on the corners.
That's not good. 2-0 Orioles.
That is good. See?
What happened? Now I do have first and third.
Yeah, so first and third, 0-2 count, nobody out, though. But still, fly ball to the outfield ends this game, but he struck out. He struck out, so now we have one out. Runners on first and third.
You got to put the ball in play. I mean, you have to put the ball in play.
Well, now you have to avoid the double play. Double play.
No, the previous guy just needed to make contact.
Right. No, that is true. That is true. You got to do something. You got to shorten up that swing, brother, man. You got to shorten up that swing. O's up. Let's go, says the Birds. And they are up. The O's are up 2-0. I'm also looking at, you're right, Toronto was threatening. They had first and third, nobody out. But
now, how is it the guy on third?
Kiermaier got caught stealing. And then Springer flew out without getting the run home. So we're still
they walked Betancourt, or no?
Yes. In Tampa, I've got bases loaded now, one out, intentional walk.
That's interesting. I don't like that play. I would have rather played for the traditional double play because now the pitcher's ass is puckered to throw
now
strikes.
The walk loses the game. Now you got pressure. Now you got pressure. I agree with you because the double play on a regular ground ball is still live.
Yeah.
Unless you get like a slow roller kind of thing, right? You get the slow roller, then I guess you still get the force at home. But to your point, now there's pressure to throw strikes here.
100%.
The walk ends the game right here. And this is what happens. And this is why you can't just listen to people that are just, reading off box scores and reading like you and I are talking about it. Like, listen, we didn't play professional baseball, but this is the kind of thing we know what's going on here. We can talk about, what situation this creates, what context this is. And listen, I get all the data that's in sports right now, but you have to mix that. You have to mix that with an understanding of the damn game and be able to kind of put it all together. 0-2 count now with the bases loaded here.
He just tried. He must have tried a safety suicide squeeze. Maybe he bunted it foul.
Not with an 0-2 count. He's not.
Well, no, he must have been 0-1.
I think we got it done here. Fly ball to right center field. Is it deep enough? Is the question.
Oh, you got to send him 50-50 because you can at least still have a guy in scoring position.
Yeah, but if you hose him, that's the third out in the inning.
Oh, yeah, double play, right?
But I'll let you know if it was deep enough, then we got another victory. Oh, it was not. Oh.
So we're going to have.
I got to see how it really went, but where I'm getting an update is that we're going to the top of the 11th. So I got to tell you how it happened. But
So it was a double play.
It must have been. It must have had a great throw. It must have not been deep enough. If you know about it, let us know in the chat. If anybody's watching, he must have gotten thrown out of the plate or wherever. That's what it must have been.
Was that bases loaded, no outs, or was it was first?
No,
and
it was runners on the corners,
third.
No outs. Then they got an out. Then they loaded the bases.
Oh, all right. Well, we didn't lose.
Now we have 8-9-1 up for the Bo Sox. We will eventually have 9-1-2 up for the Rays. When I have any kind of vision on what actually happened, I'll let you know. But by all accounts, we're going to the 11th in Tampa.
Fuck. That would have. We're still the favorite, I'm sure.
I believe so. Oh, look at this. The Giants have answered back. It's 10-7 in Wrigley. That game going over the number.
I can't believe that the Blue Jays didn't get shit out of that. First and third.
They did not score. They did not score. They had first and third, nobody out.
Wow.
Then Kiermaier gets caught stealing, then a fly out that's not a sac fly, and then a strikeout. Waldachuk gets out of it. Waldachuk has thrown 47 pitches through 3. Bassett, 23 pitches through 2 as we go to the bottom of the third in Oakland. But that was a chance for me to get because remember, I've got the first 5. So I needed that one right there.
I know this is, yeah.
Betancourt flew into a double play.
Who?
It was Betancourt who flew into the double play in Tampa. Tampa's still minus 126, though.
So we're a little better than a point.
11. Yeah. We're still a favorite there. Rays will have 1, 2, and 3. Bo Sox have 8, 9, and 1 because Betancourt made the last out. He's the 9 hitter. So we got Diaz, Lowe, and Paredes for Tampa. Boston right now, the top of the 11th is going to go Wong, Urias, and Rafaela, 8, 9, and 1. So I still like where we are with the Rays.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but yeah, that was a tough. Yeah, what? I'm just going to ask. Giants plus 3.5.
That's interesting.
No chance.
I think there's a chance. It's probably 2.5, but there's a chance. It's 3.5. Oh no, excuse me. It's catching up on me. It's locked. When it pops back up, it'll probably be 2.5. But when it does I'll let you know.
Thanks, Brian.
Astros 14-1. That one worked out. It is 2.5, by the way.
Yeah.
Brian, thanks for chilling with us here on Live Lines. Nice night so far, to be sure. We'll hopefully get you back here next Tuesday as the regular season starts to wind down.
So what's the Cubs minus 2.5 with a guy on second and 1 out?
Minus 125. You got to get out of this inning and get 3 outs in the 9th.
Yeah, assuming they don't even the
right.
Cubs,
you got to prevent this run from scoring.
But the Cubs could still score too.
In the bottom of the 8th, sure.
That sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
You like the Cubs minus 2.5? There's been too many runs in this game, though, for me.
Yeah.
That's my only issue. There's too many runs back and forth for both these teams. I mean, there's 17 on
Think about it. Well, I was going to say they'd be holding the lead going into but they may not be holding the lead.
Let me ask you this. If you like that plus 2.5, what about the game total then is 18.5 with 17?
No, I don't. I like the -2.5.
The -2.5 is -125 for the Cubbies.
Right. I like that better than the Giants at +2.5.
You like Quaz, who's just coming in now for the Cubs, to get out of this, in essence.
Right. And even if he doesn't, you still got 2 more at bats for the Cubs.
One more at bat for the Cubs.
Oh, yeah, because they're
winning home team right now. That one at bat, though, will be Bellinger, Swanson, and Suzuki. And it is the 9-hitter up right now for the Giants. You're talking me into it.
Obviously, Boston got their guy over.
On a wild pitch, by the way. On a wild pitch.
What do you think about that, Cubs, just to hold the lead the rest of the game?
-2.5?
Basically, they just got to win the game.
I'm scared of it. I think there's been too many runs. I'm scared of it.
Okay.
Right now, we got Tampa. That's probably an issue now, but we do have one out in the 11th.
Fuck, we flew out and got thrown out at the plate. That sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a shallow fly ball, though, but still. You got to go. You got to test his arm in that spot, I guess. He made a good throw. You tip your cap. The hot spot here is in Tampa. We're going to see out this Tampa game and then set you up for the late games, and then we'll be out of here. I'll tell you what. This must be a mistake.
You see something, say something.
There's no way this is true, but right now, they just locked it. Okay, they just caught themselves. They had the Red Sox still. They have the Red Sox plus 126 right now.
Well, that means we're still a good favorite, right?
We're -160 with the Rays right now.
I mean, that seems excessive, considering they have a winning run on third.
More juice than when the beginning of extra innings started.
Yeah.
I kind of want to take Boston plus 126 here.
Yeah, I mean, we really can't. Then we're basically.
I know, but.
Well, no, would we get Tampa at 104? 104. So that's not a bad look, Duke. We'll take the plus money on a Boston win and a break even.
Right. You would bet 0.9 of a unit pretty much, right?
Well, if Boston wins, we win a quarter unit. If Tampa.
The run is in. It's now dramatically different. We lost that chance.
Okay. What about the Rockies money line?
Just so you know, I'll tell you that in a hot second. Boston has scored. It's 6-5. And now Tampa's plus 210. Boston's -280.
Well, 210 with a guy starting in second. Oh, no, they can score again.
They can still score. Yeah, there's Colorado money line is locked right now with a man on second and 2 outs. When it pops back up, I'll let you know.
I got bases loaded and 2 outs there.
Really?
Yeah.
I hit the wrong one. Excuse me. You're right. I'm wrong. Yeah, bases loaded and 2 outs. Yep. It is still locked though. When it pops up, I'll let you know. But I'm at least on the right game. Rockies money line -106. Arizona's still the favorite at -120.
Wow.
Down by a run and facing the bases loaded. They believe that we're going to get that. I don't even know how to pronounce this guy's name. Fott is going to get out of this.
Oh, yeah. That's the PFAA.
Yes.
Or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got nothing either. I know recognize the name, but I don't fucking know.
Right. Man, I needed the Blue Jays to score there, man.
Yeah.
Really did. First and third, nobody out, and they can't score.
Yeah.
That's some nonsense.
Not as bad as the Tampa, but
yeah, fair enough.
Must have he got caught stealing in Tampa.
So now there's nobody on and 2 out.
And we're nowhere near plus 200. or are we?
Not anymore, but listen, we're already holding the Tampa ticket, right? So runners on the corners. Oh, runners on the corners, 2 out in Wrigley. Giants trying to stay involved. We're locked in Tampa. See, but here's the deal now. And I'm going to go back to why I talked about the tie games going into extra innings. It's now 6-5 Boston, right? Remember, when it was 5-5, they were hanging 11.5, and I said I would have been happy going over on this. You know, Tampa is going to get the man on second base to start the inning. And they're going to have 1, 2. They've got 1, 2, and 3 up. You know, it is better than a 50% chance that the Rays can score in the bottom of the 11th.
Yeah, that's I was interested in that plus 200 a minute ago when Boston still had what were still up.
Yeah, they got caught stealing, and Devers grounded out, so they're out of the inning. We're going to the bottom of the 11th here. It'll be Diaz, Lowe, and Paredes up 1, 2, 3 for the Rays with their life on the line here in the bottom of the 11th. If they score a run, that over 11.5 with plus money would hit. If they score 2 runs, we could be looking at a perfect night here on Live Lines. We need the Rays here.
Yeah.
I say we stick with this game in Tampa, and then after that, we call it a night.
Yeah. I wonder do you know who's starting at second base for Tampa?
It is whoever made the last out, so probably
not be the 9-hitter.
Would it be? It wouldn't be Betancourt. It'd be the runner who got gunned out.
I hope it's not Betancourt. I mean, I'm faster than that motherfucker.
That's fair. That's fair. But that's an interesting question. I think it would be technically the guy who made the last out would be the runner who got hosed at the plate, right?
Yeah, I think you're right, because I think I've seen caught stealing guys have to go right back out.
Have to go right back.
I believe you're.
I think the letter of the law is whoever made the last out, or is it the last batter of the inning? I don't know if it's the last batter or whoever made the last out. Corey H is in the chat saying it's going to be Betancourt, but they'll probably pinch run. I guess so. You could pinch run at this point. Yeah. You know, it's the bottom of the inning. You don't score, game's over. If you do keep this game on, fuck it, go to your backup catcher, right? To get those wheels.
Yeah, that's a good point, Corey. You got to do that.
You got to pinch run there. You got to put your guy there anyway, yeah.
There's absolutely no speed with Betancourt or Rondé Diaz.
Right.
I mean, these guys are
worst case scenario. You tie the game, you go to the 12th, and you put in your backup catcher defensively. But you take that all day and twice on Sunday to get the advantage of the wheels on second base here.
Fuck, I don't know. I guess I trust Yandy to get the. He's pretty good with the bat for being a big guy, free swinger. He's pretty good with the bat. He could probably
Kenley Jansen in to try to close it out for the Bo Sox. Tampa now plus 130. Red Sox minus 168. Toronto did not score in the top of the third. I'm down to 3 outs left for that first 5 bet. Unfortunately, I had my chance with runners on the corners and nobody out, but they couldn't score. 1-2 count on Diaz.
Let's walk it off with a 2-run bomb.
Sure.
Oh, Corey's saying they kept Betancourt in.
Oh, really?
Oh, my God. They may need 2 hits to get this guy in.
It is Betancourt still on second base. Oh, God.
Is that Kevin Cash?
We should not only should we open our own sports book, but we should manage a team. We should manage a team here, Maddie. And here's the other thing I was going to say. I honestly, we joke around a lot. I do not know why someone hasn't come up with this idea, someone who's a lot more wealthy than I am. I really think there needs to be a bank out there where you could get a loan to be able to hedge a big future. So let's put it this way. Let's say I have the New Orleans Saints to win the Super Bowl at 40-1, right? And I know it's going to pay out, it's going to pay out $40,000, let's say, right? And and the Saints are in the NFC Championship game, and I want to hedge. But in order to really do that, I need another $10,000. What if I don't have that $10,000? Could I go to a bank and be like, I need a loan And you want to know what the collateral for my loan is? This futures ticket right here. Now
Yeah.
give me a loan. Like,
Yeah.
why is that not possible? You know what I mean?
I guess people just go to family or something for that, right?
I guess. But, conceptually, right? Like, I think there's a niche there, Maddie, for an actual financial institution to, in essence, accept open bet tickets as collateral to get a loan.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be some times out there where in order to make the real hedge, you're going to need to get some money in order to actually do that. But you do have it locked in. It's not like you wouldn't be able to pay the bank back one way or the other. You know what I mean? That should be valid credit or valid collateral for a loan. And I don't know why it's not. But I digress.
No, I get that. I got you.
Yeah.
I actually think that's out there. I think there's people that not banks.
There's people out there. There's people out there that'll do anything, Matt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm just saying. So we got to open a bank, Matt, open a sports book, and manage a minor league baseball team.
Sounds all doable.
Let's do it.
I don't want to walk here. Do you?
Diaz walked. Now the force is in play everywhere.
Again, the one thing I do like about more people on base is the pitchers get real squirrely.
Yes. The sphincters tighten a little bit. For sure. Now, like you said, it's not like we're fleet of foot over here, but now a double in the gap could do something.
Yeah, I guess I'd rather have the walk than not have the walk, even though it sets up the double play, but we can walk it off with a double.
We could. Yeah, so we'll see what Brandon Lowe does.
Man, if we had like a number 2 hitter, we could bunt them over.
We do have a number 2 hitter, really.
Well, but I don't really like Brandon Lowe to do it.
He's 0 for 4 on the night. The 1-1 count there on him. Listen, let's just get a base knock here. Base knock would make the over 11.5 a win.
Yeah, but I don't even know if Betancourt scores on a base knock.
That's a fair point. That is a fair point. And this Red Sox outfield already has some outfield assists. Remember, they ended the last inning with a throw.
I think we're walking this off this inning.
All right, I like your confidence. Something's happening in this inning, I think. Unless we get that picket fence that I'm telling you about, the ones on both sides, which is still possible. Nobody out. 1-2 count on Lowe. Listen, here's what I don't like. Lowe is up right now. He's 0 for 4. Paredes is up next. He's 0 for 3. Arozarena up after that is 0 for 5 on the night.
So we're sitting at 0 for 12 for the next 3?
Yes. And then Lowe after that is 0 for 5 also. So 0 for 17, the next few guys up.
2-2. Let's get a little nervous.
Ball's in play. The 2-2 pitch is in play. I'll let you know what
in the air.
It's a drive. It's a drive. Oh, I'll let you know. But the little screen I stare at looks promising.
Poirier's is saying walk off.
It looks promising. It looks promising.
Is it a walk off?
I think it might be. It's not official yet, but I think Lowe might have just gone yard here. I think Lowe might have just gone yard.
Corey's saying he walked it off.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. It is a 3-run shot out of Lowe. 8-6 Tampa final. What we've got is a perfect night here on Live Lines. The Atlanta Braves cover with that plus 5.5. The game in Wrigley, which is still going on, we have over 12.5. They're at 18 right now. The Houston Astros team total, we had at 11.5. They got to 14. And we then late got on the Tampa Bay Rays at minus 104. They give up a run in the top of the 10th, and they still come back to win. And by the way, they would have gone over that 11.5 as well. So we've got a 4-0 night here on Live Lines, brother man.
That's the way we do it. Love it.
That's the way we do it. That is the way we do it. Brandon Lowe wins the game in Tampa, 8-6 Rays final. By the way, the Cubs are still scoring runs. It is now 11-7 in Wrigley. So we were on that one. We were on the Houston Astros all over the Texas Rangers. Baltimore to match West Coast play. The Baltimore Orioles are up 2-0 on the Angels. My West Coast play is not looking as good because Toronto and the A's are still scoreless. Just so that we know, Padres are up 1-0 on the Phillies, and the Rockies are up 2-1 on the Arizona Cardinals. That game just finished the third inning. But I got to tell you something. Deep Gnarly saying it right now. Great night. Great night. Kyle Alexander saying, what up, Twatty? So good to see you back on the, he says the Keg YouTube. I will call it the Nuke the House.
Nuke the House. I appreciate that, Kyle. Appreciate that.
Absolutely. But listen, Matty, 4-0 ain't bad. 4-0 ain't bad. I'll tell you that. Last time I checked, 4-0 is pretty good.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
Good
Sweet.
stuff. Good stuff. So thanks to everybody in the chat because you guys really help us out. Honestly, whether it's suggesting things, the See Something, Say Something Syndicate, whether it's sometimes if you're watching a game that's ahead of us, you let us know that Brandon Lowe went yard. You let us know there was a home run in Wrigley Field. And so we love that. That kind of anticipation builds. Hopefully the Kegger is watching and clips that 30 seconds where we cashed on 2 bets in, I think, a 2-batter span. You gotta love this. Corey H says it'll always be this Keg cast. I'm not mad at that either, but we are nuking the house here on the Keg channel. So 4-0. Thanks to everybody on the chat letting us know. Thanks to Maddie as always. I'm merely playing air traffic control here, but we appreciate you. If you like what you saw, come on back next Tuesday, same bat time, same bat channel at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Get into the Discord. Check out the website where we're tracking picks. And tell a friend to tell a friend. We win money here on Live Lines, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. You have a great night, everybody. Great night in the chat. We'll see you next Tuesday. It's been another episode of Live Lines. We out. Peace.